Everybody, it's me again. I'm filming from my car. I'm during my lunch break here, so I'm trying to get as many things done as I can in one fell swoop. I wanted to do a quick tag, and I wasn't specifically tagged, but it's basically an open tag. And I watched Keto Marny, and she did this tag, and I thought it was some interesting questions, so I thought maybe I'll just go ahead and do this too, and then at the end I'll tag a couple more people, because they're different than these other get to know you tags. So I hope the lighting is okay. I haven't even been able to check. I'm going in and out. Oh, I'm just looking at my sunglasses and my mask on. Okay, you can tell this is not going to be a more professional sit down, make sure the makeup is all perfect kind of tag or video. Okay, so this is just basically some get to know you questions. And the first one was, what's your name and who named you? Well, my name is Petra, obviously. German name. I think I've shared that before, that it's a German name, excuse me. And both my mom and dad named me pretty much. Yeah, that's it. How many siblings do you have? I have one brother who is 2.5 years younger than I am. And yep, that's all. He's married, has kids, lives about 500 miles away. And he and I were very close growing up, and since we have gone on with our separate lives, we're not as close as we used to be. Obviously, we don't live under the same roof, but we have one of those relationships that as soon as we get together, it's like we've never left each other. Okay, next question. I just want you guys to know that I am some kind of multi-talented to be able to drive, read, talk in the camera, maneuver in traffic all at the same time. Let's see how well I can do all these things. So, my next question is, were you close to any of your cousins growing up? Well, being in a military home, I did never stay in at one spot long enough to get close to any of my cousins. I had one cousin who her name is Crystal, and she is closest to me in age. She's 9 months older than I am, almost to the day, and we kind of were like thrown together shortly after birth when both of our dads were in Vietnam, and our moms lived with my grandparents when they were overseas. And so we kind of like grew up for the first year or two of our lives together until our dads got back, and we moved on. But she and I have always been probably the closest sibling I have on my dad's side. On my mom's side, because she was born and raised in Germany, I didn't really have a chance to spend a whole lot of time with many, if any, of her siblings' offspring. That's the only way I can say it. But I would say that once we got to the States and we settled in the States, that my aunt, her one son, and he lives up in Ohio. He's probably the closest to me in age here in the States, and basically, I only had 3 of my mom's siblings mom's nieces and nephews that lived here that I'm close to. So, yes and no. Okay. So, Did you or do you have a special bond with your grandparents? Again, because growing up, I was always kind of all over the place, military. My grandfather on my dad's side, he and I had a closer bond than any of my other grandparents. And I think that is due to the fact, again, that when we were, when Dad was over in Vietnam, I was kind of his special kid. I was more of a tomboy than my cousin Crystal, and I think he kind of kind of watered that, if you will. So anyway, did I enjoy high school? Yes and no. I did, because I just loved learning. But at the same time, I was very disenchanted, I guess is the right word. I don't know if that's the right word, because I was a very people-oriented person, and because I was more of a nerd, because I liked school, and I really did like school, but I didn't fit in anywhere, and so I didn't have a clique or a group of people that I really ran with, and so that caused me a little bit of angst. So anyway, what are my hobbies? Obviously crochet. In the past, though, I have rubber stamped, I have scrapbooked, I have journaled, I have cross-stitched, quilted. I've done a lot, just about all the crafts. Let me think. Were there things that I haven't done? I probably dabbled in a little bit of everything as far as crafts go. But right now, reading, crocheting, writing, those kinds of things are still things that I do. What do I do to relieve stress? Crocheting, but I also just veg in front of the TV with a good movie or a good show or something, and that kind of helps me. Depends on the movie too. If I can watch something that's low-key, like something like a Hallmark movie or a romance or something, and crochet, that really relieves stress for me. Who is the longest friend you have? Well, I have two, and I'm not close to them right now, okay? But I've known them. I still keep in contact with them. Both of them actually live in Florida, and I've known them ever since Germany, since I was in about third grade, maybe third or fourth grade. So that was a long time ago. I'm not going to give that age away, but that was a long time ago. This was probably in I want to say 73. I'll just say 73. Okay. What's your favorite movie? I don't have a favorite movie per se. I like certain Jane Austen tellings. I like, I love Julie and Juliet and Under the Tuscan Sun and Letters to Juliet. Anything that was basically based in Italy, I love those movies. And, come to think of it, just off the top of my head, I love Germany, but how many movies do you know that are set in Germany? That's got me to thinking. Okay, anyway, that are actually a nice movie, not actually like based on World War II or things that happened during World War II. What is your favorite book? Okay, I'm just going to say this. It's the Bible. Okay. And I don't have necessarily favorite books, but I said in a previous video that I like certain authors. James Scott Bell, Ted Decker. I like Debbie Maycomer. I love Jane Austen. Yeah, I have a lot of favorite authors. Your favorite thing to do on a stormy day? I think I love just sitting with the lights out. And if there's electricity, I like watching movies, watching TV, things like that. Crocheting. Yeah, just basically like when I think of a stormy day, I think of curling up and coming inward. I like to actually read a lot during a stormy weather. I like that too, especially if I've got like a candle, like if I'm trying to read by candlelight or something like that. Which brings me to the next question that there was, is what do you like to do when the weather is perfect out? Well, when the weather's perfect out, my favorite thing to do, and I haven't been able to do it in many years, is to have a campfire going and be in the shade, but have a campfire going on a perfect day and sitting in front of that campfire all day long, stoking the fire, reading, stoking the fire, and just having like a cooler of sodas and junk food sitting next to me. And that's what I love to do. Do you prefer big city or small town? Small town. And when I was growing up, though, I thought for sure I wanted to be in a big city, and I couldn't wait to get out of this small town. But I found myself even now thinking that where I live is too big, and it's not a big town. It's a small, well, the town that I live in now has about 50,000 people. That's this. But then I live in another, it's a long story, but I live out in the boonies. But as long as I have a place to shop for groceries and just like a one-stop general store, I'm good. But I will say, I don't mind traveling for like an hour to go to restaurants, lots of shopping, things like that. So the first thing I want to do when lockdown is over, and I'm going to say this right now, on the record, I don't like this being called lockdown. I don't like it being called quarantine. Those two things have totally negative connotations. I choose to self-isolate in my home because I want to protect myself and others around me. That's it. So, what's the first thing I would like to do? Is I would like to go to Hobby Lobby. That's my first thing, and I'm going to make a day of it. I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby, and then I'm going to find my favorite restaurant, and I'm going to sit down and stay there as long as I possibly can and enjoy a nice dinner out. So, that, my friends, is a little bit more about me. So I would like to tag a couple people because I really would like to know their answers to this. And let me see who I would like to tag. I would like to tag Julie from Kept in Stitches with Julie. I would like to tag Nicole from Addicted to Yarn. Let me see, who else? How about... Let's do, Segal from Segal Anon. And then I would like to do Reggie from J Hook Crochet. Let's see here. Who else? Cynthia from Sin's Crafting World. Lisa from Lisa's Crochet. And if you happen to be watching this video, and you just happen to be watching somebody else's video that I just tagged, please let them know that I tagged them because they might not be listening to this particular one. Let's see here. Kelly from Crochet Ma for Life, Lynette from Lynette. Great. No, wait a second. Crafty Lynette. I cannot remember the name. All I'm thinking of is Creative Grandma, and that's not right. But hey, Creative Grandma, if you want to join in, if you're watching this, I'd love to see your stuff too, or hear your answers. Tracy from I Love Loopy Crochet, Loopy Crochet and Treasures. Why can't I remember Lynette's? Doggone it. I am so sorry. Sandy from Left is Right. Sandy Clark from Crochet Egg Canada. Honey, I haven't heard from you in forever, and I would love to hear your answers. Okay, I've rattled on enough. My lunch break's over. I got to go back to work, everybody. Have a great one, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye.